Since everyone's already talking to Chewie anyway, or talking about Chewie anyway, I guess we'll go live!
Yeah, so we can talk about Chewie.
Oh my
Chewie's
goodness.
face.
Yeah. I guess it's theoretical face, but yeah.
Yeah, closer to his face. Ugh. So hello and welcome to our 360... It's not 360.
347.
Thank you. 347th day of our 365-day streaming challenge. We are back with the Ladies of Lore.
Woohoo!
Heyo.
Who remembers anything about where you are?
New planet! Yay!
Yes. That is correct.
Shall I read the notes?
Sure, do the honors, Miriam.
The notes say, as we were so this is just a little bit about the planet we're going to, just terrain. There are fires burning on the planet, giant armies constantly moving, not a lot of big buildings. The area around the city that we're kind of headed nearish doesn't have a lot of immediate fighting. It's neutral ground. The only water on the planet is around wintertime. There's really only 3 city-ish places on this planet. They're small huts and houses, nothing super big. We landed without too many issues. People were like, oh, there's people here. But it was not really a, like, what are you doing on our planet kind of response.
Okay, I'm going to fill in a couple of those because those were not right.
Oh, good.
One, no, there was no mention of winter. There's just a lot of places where there is definitely supposed to be water and there is not water. Like places where there is clearly like our riverbed, but there's no water.
Okay.
You have been on the planet for a grand total of like 3 minutes, so there's no lack of a response. There's just no one could have possibly responded by now.
We just got here, essentially.
Yeah, so it's not that you didn't have one, it's just that no one could have possibly responded already. I don't think there were any other things that needed to be clarified otherwise, though.
Nope.
Because otherwise, yeah, that's about accurate. This is a very barbarous planet. You know pretty much nothing about it, except that apparently the people who live here are in some way an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you chose to land at one of the, there are 3 sort of cities, though describing them as a city is giving them a lot more credit than they're due. There are only 3 of them across the entire planet, and Chewie, I think you have a massive delay, yeah. And they aren't so much peaceful as there aren't... Oh, that was the other thing. It definitely is not neutral. There just aren't any armies within a certain distance of the cities, but if there's a reason for it, you're not aware of it.
Okay. It was very end of the game that I got this stuff.
Yeah.
I wrote this all down, so.
Yeah.
C'est la vie. Neutral grant. Like that. Okay. Dry riverbed, city-ish, nothing big, landing with no issues. Action but no immediate response. Cool.
Okay.
So...
Oh.
So
I thought you guys were trying to figure out the delay. Sorry.
That does not matter.
No.
Okay.
Um,
So do we have any sort of a game plan going towards this one this time?
You all have not had a game plan for any of these.
That's why I'm 8 months.
Thank you, Chewie, for the 8 months of sub.
Aw.
Thank you, buddy.
What? Here,
Thanks, buddy.
let's do something.
Cheers.
But yes, no, you all have not had a game plan going into any of these.
Nope. Winging it.
One would
That's
assume you
okay.
would develop the game plan before landing, which is what I was trying to get you all to do, but no, you committed.
You know, that's the one thing you can say about us is we follow through with the stupid decisions we make.
Really stupid decisions we made.
Oh, the stupidest. But
Yes.
Wow.
So, this planet respects strength. I say we go and show our strength.
As in kicking
I don't
down
know.
doors? Or...
No.
That was my first thought when
Leader.
you said strength.
The quote-unquote city does have a massive wall.
We can go
Well,
kick down the wall.
Probably has a door somewhere you could kick in.
I'm up for kicking down a door.
Sure, let's go kick down the doors.
Alright, we're gonna go
Okay,
kick down the
speak up.
doors.
All right.
Speak
Okay.
up.
Sorry.
Alright, let's go find a door to kick down.
Oh,
Okay, well,
Not
as you
terribly.
as you walk out on deck, you start hearing what you would describe as loud, angry yipping and growling.
Okay.
It doesn't actually sound like it's directed at you, and there are multiple, you dare to say, voices.
Okay. Voices. I say we come out armed.
Okay, to be clear, you're on the deck of the ship. You're hearing this from a
Is it
little
like
distance away.
okay? So it's I'm picturing like someone is literally standing at like next to our ship, going, "The hell are you doing here?"
Okay,
Go away.
so imagine, if you will, that you are probably about, like, 500 meters away from the wall, because you didn't want to land too close.
okay.
And, Miriam, you don't need to be writing this. Please stop. It's very loud. And these voices are shouting very loudly, but are not immediately next to the ship as far as you can tell without a perception check. They're somewhere between you and the wall. And they don't appear to be shouting in your direction. They're shouting at each other, from what you can tell.
Can I perception check to see just like what we can tell about?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
They
well
are
then.
exactly 100 meters away from the ship, and now that you've been able to figure that out, you've actually just spotted them. It's like two humanoid shapes. They're kind of far away, so it's hard to tell, shouting back and forth at each other with a slightly larger group just sort of standing, waiting behind them.
Approximately how many are? Is it just a larger group, or do we have approximate numbers, or how many?
Probably like 3
can I
dozen.
tell? Okay, 3 dozen.
So, I make a check to see if I can understand what language they're speaking?
Can you speak up a little bit more? And yes, I guess. What languages do you speak? Haley, they really can't hear you.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Wait, we brought the Nothic with us, right?
You did, yes.
Yeah, the Nothic. Hell no,
Alright.
I don't speak that many languages.
Most of you don't
Sure.
speak that many languages.
Yeah. We're pretty much just stuck on one planet,
I
so
think like 2 of you speak Goblin, and everyone else only speaks Draconic.
Yeah, I think I only speak
Okay.
Draconic.
Okay. So yes, you call up the Nothic.
Call up the
yes.
He sort of like does his weird sort of like froggy hopping waddle up on deck. Yes?
Nothic. Can you translate for us?
What, that's screaming?
Yes, that.
I sort of?
Rough estimate.
50-50.
Okay.
We'll take it.
40-60.
Yeah, go for it. Give it a shot. It's better than you can do.
That one on the left is very angry.
Okay.
The one on the right is also very angry.
Okay.
They both aren't happy about the boat.
Okay.
I think they mean the ship, and they just don't have a word for it.
Valid.
I feel like I'm missing some context. Look, this language has a lot of physical components to it. I'm gonna say they both aren't happy about the ship, and the one on the left wants to try and do something stupid. Also, thank you very much, I am the door.
Thanks, Charles.
The one on the right doesn't want to do something stupid.
Can you tell exactly what is the stupid thing they want to do?
No.
Or is it just being
because the one
referred
on
to
the
as
right-
a stupid thing?
The one on the right just keeps referring to it as doing something stupid.
Ha,
Maybe
that's helpful.
attacking a ship they know nothing about?
Mm.
Now they're
Kind of
pointing
goes against what we know of them.
Now they're talking about the wall. Now they're talking about the ship again. Yeah, I don't. There's a look. These are gnolls. A lot of their speaking involves looking at their teeth, and I can't see their teeth.
What? Huh? What? Okay.
They're dog people. They do a lot of nonverbals. Sort of.
Okay, so more like body language definitely has stuff to do with the conversation.
That's why I said I can only do about 60-40 here.
Okay.
Any chance if we go up to them, they wouldn't attack?
60-40? Look, they're gnolls. They're not that scary. They're just
No.
big, stupid hyenas.
Okay.
Okay, so if we go in with weapons out and look ready for a fight, then we should be good.
They might attack you. They might run away.
Damn.
And then you got 60-40 on that one too?
I mean, that's what the original 60-40 was, but yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's very safe numbers.
I mean, you're probably safer. They're all males.
What?
I realized something. I have bonus to insight. And insight is body language. Is definitely something that you can do with body language.
It's more of trying to figure out if someone is bullshitting you. But yes, you could use it for body language. They're 100 meters away and your eyesight isn't that great.
It's more like when we get closer and are trying to like have a if we do get closer and try to have a conversation. Insight might be helpful with this situation.
At this point, even you all from this far away, the one at the right just sort of like smacks the one on the left and sort of points towards the ship again, and just sort of he bows his head, and the one on the right sort of looks at you all and waves.
Okay.
I wave back.
Yeah, I also wave back.
I think he won the discussion?
That's good.
And this is the
Okay.
one who's not going to do the stupid thing, correct?
This is the one who kept talking about the other one doing something stupid.
Okay, cool. So this might bode okay.
Alright, so maybe we go down there, not have our weapons drawn, but ready. Like, have our hands on them?
That sounds good. That honestly sounds good to me. My thought is like strong, but not initially confrontational.
Not trying to intimidate? Now.
Yet being the operative word.
Okay, so you're just gonna saunter on down in front of a pack of 38 gnolls.
I'd say we should signal for one of them to approach.
Yeah.
Instead of a big group, unless we want to roust the whole crew and have them be at our back
How are you going to
for
signal
numbers.
That's a lot. We have like
Good
8
point.
people on board. What?
No, you've got more than that now. I mean, most of them are slaves and are in
Alright, we
stasis
took them.
chambers. But yeah, how are you going to indicate that you only want one or two of them to come up?
As you say that, I realize the issue with that sentence. So,
Oh, I can't believe they did a puppy.
okay, so do we want to go down and meet them, or signal, or we could have we could signal for them to approach, but we only let a few of them onto the ship to talk.
I say we not do this on the ship?
Yeah, I would also agree.
And meet them halfway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
Let's-
ship's a really bad idea.
Okay. Then let us be armed but approachable.
Okay, so just gonna saunter
go.
down over to 38 Gnolls.
This is a really bad idea. Yes.
You guys want to? Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The front two are very much patiently waiting for you all to approach slowly across the 100 meters or so. The 36 behind them are sort of not actually paying that close attention. They were sort of standing almost kind of in ranks before, but at this point have largely given up on that and are just sort of laying around being lazy.
So, being dogs?
More, it's hot and they're all trying to find shade,
Got it.
and there isn't that much because it's basically an open savanna.
Well, 2 of us are lizard people, so heat probably isn't that much of an issue.
Not really, but you're also rainforest based.
Oh, so never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have Nothic come with us. Or Nothic come with us.
Okay.
I thought that was assumed, but yeah.
It was not assumed, but okay.
That's why.
Okay.
That is
Good
why.
idea.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, let's not. How are we gonna talk to them otherwise?
I mean, Chewie, they do have cannons, they just forget about them a lot.
Oh, shoot. Just really read over those notes on the ship. But okay.
I thought we weren't supposed. I thought we were not gonna destroy the wall.
Not yet.
Just reiterating that y'all have cannons and have never once fired them successfully. So as you get closer, the discussion between them seems to pick back up again. Mostly with the one on the left continuing to do what you have now been able to identify what their word for stupid is, just because it keeps getting said, and at this point the Nothic has pointed it out enough times that you're just like, okay, that's stupid. Got it. Talking about doing something that the one on the right describes as stupid as well, but apparently is something different.
Okay. So the stupid is not the fact that they're approaching us.
No.
Okay.
He is suggesting another quote-unquote stupid plan of action.
Alright.
Okay. So how close are we to them at this point?
Probably 5 meters, so you can finish it in a brisk walk to be right up in front of them.
Do we want to have the Nothic hail them, or do we want to just wait till we get to them before saying anything?
I guess we'll wait until we get to them.
Sounds good.
So as soon as you're within 10 feet of them, the one on the right sort of turns to you and in really, really rough Draconic shouts, "Hello!"
Hi.
Greetings.
Who are you?
Adventures?
Explorers.
Explorers?
Hang on.
We're just kind of looking around.
Seeing what's around? Meeting people?
Charles, to clarify really quickly, they have a spelljammer that they've just never actually fought with.
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet. Jinx.
With slightly different mechanics because I don't like the actual way that D&D does spell jamming, so I'm doing it as a little bit more realistic space travel-ish. But yeah. Ow. Okay. Where were we? Sorry, what did you ask him?
He asked us
Oh yeah, why you're here.
why we're here.
Yeah.
Or who we were.
Yeah.
Who we were. And we
And
said
we-
explorers, travelers.
Mhm. Getting to know the universe now that we can actually reach it.
But why are you here?
Curiosity.
Also, if I remember correctly, that had to do with. We want to talk about trade with your world.
That was
And
not what you're here for.
If I remember, it had to do with the slave trade.
General.
Yeah. Or no. Do I have the wrong
No.
planet? I have
Wrong
the
planet.
I have the wrong one.
Wrong planet.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
this doesn't feel right.
we're supposed to put down any immediate threats, guys, but we
Yeah.
probably should not tell them that.
We just want to get to know our neighbors in the universe. And you're our neighbors. Hi, neighbor.
You picked a bad place.
Why?
We don't even have water? Wait. Like, this whole planet is dying and is populated by assholes. To which point the one on his right sort of like gives him an angry stare.
I take it you don't consider yourselves the same assholes as the rest of the planet?
I mean, we have a city.
That's true.
That's...
So you guys like, I don't know, high class of this planet?
I'm not high class, but I have a house and I don't eat dead things.
Better class.
Sure.
Not
Why
suffering.
Why is your planet dying? What's happened so that your planet is dying?
You've never met a Gnoll, have you?
Nope.
Can't say that I have.
Nope.
Okay. Quick explanation then. Most Gnolls want two things. To eat and to kill something. Not necessarily in any particular order.
Got it.
And most of us have never learned what moderation means.
So you've effectively killed the planet you live on?
Pretty sure we've killed more than one, but yeah.
Oh, so you guys just hop from world to world and as the planets die, you move on?
We hang out for a while, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, so this isn't your like original world, or
Oh,
would
we don't
you
even know
claim
where
this?
we're from now.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
How would you like something more stable?
I will...
A more stable place to live without having to worry.
Hang on. This is gonna be what I think it is again, isn't it? Oh, damn it. Okay, yep.
Oh.
Yep, sorry, it's Google taking control over my mic again and turning the levels down. Y'all are from Nexus, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
No. We're aware of you guys. No.
What exactly about us?
You are an empire run by a green dragon. We like having some amount of freedom. Also, not breathing acid.
You'd still have freedom. Then you wouldn't have to worry about the others coming and killing your town.
We have a wall that keeps them out just fine.
How
Also-
long will that last?
You haven't paid attention to the wall, have you?
Not really. I mean, did that I turned to look at the. Can I do a perception check for that? At the...
I mean, from here it looks like a wall. It's 400 meters away.
Okay, so what is so special about your wall?
You know what? How about this? You can come in and see why we don't actually want your help. Wait, let me correct myself. We don't want to be part of your empire.
Okay.
We're fine with trading, but we don't want to be subjugated.
Fair enough.
But in the spirit of diplomacy, we'll let you come on in and see the city, see the sights. Is that okay with you?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
To which he just sort of like turns around and starts heading off.
I'm gonna follow.
Might as well follow. Take the Nothic with us.
Of course.
Okay, hang on just a second. I have to change a bunch of these real quick because they're being assholes. So sorry with the microphone issue is that Google is being a bastard and trying to change the microphone levels whenever it hears the levels change too much on my end. There we go. Okay, that should stay where it's at now. In theory. So, yes, you're all heading closer and closer to the wall. He starts to sort of curve you out towards the east, where there seems to be a massive gate built into the wall. And once you're about, like, you're basically walking, like, parallel to the wall at this point, probably about 50 meters away. Can I get perception checks from all of you?
Yep.
Less good perception check. Less awesome.
Okay, so Miriam, Alcina, yeah, it's a wall. Like, it looks like it's sort of like well-armed wall, and that there are like people, or there are like slots for people to fire out of, but it's not anything particularly special. Welcome to the channel, Zemnes14. Nadar, first of all, Feline, you see about the same thing as Alcina. Nadar, you on the other hand notice that the wall is made out of not just stone. And it's difficult to describe what it's made out of because you don't actually recognize some of the materials, but you can tell that parts of the materials seem to be moving.
Okay.
Like, the wall itself isn't moving, but there are pieces of it that seem to be able to move on their own.
I kind of want to see if the Nothic has any knowledge about material that moves.
I mean, that's just what you're going to ask him?
No, I'm going to tell him, like, what I'm seeing and if he knows anything about it.
Oh, yeah, those are zombies.
What?
Well, they're sort of zombies.
And what might be the benefits of building a wall out of partial zombies?
Well, there's zombies that are basically just made out of gnoll bones. They're basically skeletons with a tiny amount of flesh left. So they got to eat the flesh, and now their wall is made out of things that shoot back.
Oh!
Also magic, because magic.
Oh.
I think this counts as something to be written down.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were sent to get magic stuff too, so...
Wall is made of
We can't trade.
zombies.
Doesn't mean we have to kill them. At least this city.
Oh, this is bad.
So after noting that you've been sort of paying attention to the wall, and you, unlike the others, seem to have noticed, the gnoll turns back and sort of stares directly at you, Nadar, and goes, "So you get it now?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
We like our necromancy, and it works pretty well for us."
Alright. Well, that's nice.
Okay, so necromancy magic.
Do we have knowledge about necromancy magic?
I mean, you know enough to know that necromancy means it deals with death. I don't think any of you actually use any necromancy at all.
No, but
No.
would it be something that Kingdom knows about?
Probably, to at least some extent.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think any of your kingdom has ever used necromantic building equipment pieces.
Yeah, I would.
So an Arcana check wouldn't help at all.
I mean, it might, in that you are the only magic user here.
Yeah.
So you might be able to figure something out.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
Gonna-
share with everybody and.
Nope.
I mean, now that you've had it explained to you, you're just like, that is a wall made like 75% out of basically zombies.
Great. Okay.
So, I would like to use a would it be a persuasion to get him to talk more about the necromancy magic that they use?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
or
do
you could
persuasion.
try and intimidate it out of him, either or.
I'm just gonna start with. Never mind.
Oh my god!
So he's
So,
actually
magic.
like,
Holy
What's
shit!
what's the magic?
it's just like. So look, I actually have no issues with talking about this because I don't think you can replicate it, but I don't think you'd understand. So he like turns over to Feline. He's like, "Okay, you're a warlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're bound to your dragon, and she gives you magic, right?
Yes.
Okay, we don't have that. We just have, well, none of us here do, but our ancestors had a similar thing, but with demons. Lots and lots of very angry demons. And while we don't have pacts with them anymore, at least not in the city, they taught us how to do this. Also, it's just a way to get rid of excess people.
Sweet.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
It's creative.
Yeah, we get to eat them, and then we turn them into a wall.
A wall that.
Scavengers. Okay.
They're hyenas, Miriam.
Yeah. I just, as soon as I said that, I'm like, duh.
Oh yeah.
That was a duh kind of moment.
I mean, excess people is also probably like those idiots who tried to attack us when the wall was being built.
Yeah.
And then they became part of the wall.
I was gonna say the old stick your enemies into the wall thing.
Yeah.
Done for centuries, different cultures.
Yeah, now they
like-
just make them fight for him. So after this, they sort of like have managed to get you to the front gate, to which there's more of the gate is much more clearly. It's sort of like a solid slab of iron split down the middle, and it's almost as though they've just sort of like socketed them into the iron as it was being made. So there's just a whole bunch of like upper torsos of these largely skeletonized gnolls with like daggers and pointy sticks and really bad looking swords, and a couple of them have like bows with a couple of arrows nearby, just sort of like shunted into the metal of this door.
Is this just like a moving? I don't know. That's weird. That's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really cool.
And the gnoll who you're sort of following walks up to the door and just sort of like growls some sort of combination that you don't completely understand because you still don't really get their language at some of the more fleshy zombies at the very base, and the door just sort of swings open.
Interesting.
That's weird, but okay. Moving corpse door. My favorite.
I guess.
Any chance you guys would be willing to teach somebody else these magics?
Some of them, maybe.
What would it get for you
What
guys?
would it take?
Yeah.
I'm not at liberty to make those sort of discussions. You'll have to make that with one of our leaders.
Okay.
What are
And-
the names of your leaders?
That's not something I can just tell you.
Oh. Okay.
Can we meet your leaders?
Not immediately, no. You just
No.
landed in front of the
No.
city.
Duh. But, like, soon.
Yes, I have dispensation to set you up near... In your language, I think the closest word I can come up with is the palace.
Great.
Okay.
Works for me.
Now, how about the rest of that city?
I mean, he just sort of, like, is walking you through it. It definitely looks less shabby from inside. The issue that you were seeing from up above is that everything looked like tents because they all have, like, canvas tops.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
otherwise, they're actually, like, relatively solid stone and, like, stone and, like, brick buildings. They just all top themselves with canvas. So, from coming in above, it really looked like you were just sort of flying over a tent city.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
They do have a bad habit of going in and murdering damn near everything, but hopefully this time will be a little bit more peaceful. Probably
Maybe.
not. We'll see.
So how long
Maybe,
have you been on
maybe
this
not.
planet?
Depends on the mood.
Oh, was that an actual question?
Yes. These buildings are pretty... Were these buildings here when you guys got here, or did you...
Oh, no. This planet was uninhabited. Well, I mean,
Oh,
there
cool.
were animals here, but we ate all of them.
Nice to see what you're doing here.
We've
Um,
been here for thousands of years. Like, we've been
Oh,
here
so-
longer than you all were on Nexus.
Oh, so it's been a while since you guys have world hopped, then.
I mean, I'm not kidding when I say we suck the life out of a world, then we leave it. We stay on worlds for hundreds upon hundreds of generations. We just eat everything on them.
That answered my question in my very, very roundabout question.
So, how much longer do you think this world will last?
Well, those of us in the cities are fine, but those idiots out in the wastes, they might die soon. But that might create a... Look, there's issues there. I can't say for sure.
Alright.
I mean, I already know that some of them have left, but not so much of their own free will.
So you guys in the cities could hold out for much, much longer.
Oh, yeah, because we actually grow stuff, and we retain water. It's fine. Also, whenever they attack us, we get a bunch of free water and food.
Yeah, okay.
So, are we
So-
heading anywhere specific, or are we just kind of getting the grand tour here?
He's very much just walking you straight to this, like, inn tavern thing, relatively close to what he referred to as the palace, but he made it pretty clear that he doesn't actually know what word would be best in your language for it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Just wanted to know if this was, like, we're headed somewhere, or is this, like, show and tell?
No, this is very much not show and tell. He's taking you to one specific place.
Dad.
So what's your name?
Hey.
Just so we know what your name is.
Oh, I'm Ted.
Ted?
Ted.
Good to properly meet you, Ted.
I thought it was just your way to not ask names.
Usually.
We get around to it.
Just takes us a little while.
The other guy who's still walking behind. Shut up, Chewie. the other guy who was suggesting the stupid plan sort of, like, coughs. But it sounds very strange because it's a hyena trying to cough.
And what
And
might
you
your
are?
name be, sir?
He, like, looks at you and goes, like, no. And just faces forward again.
Hey, fine. Not my problem.
Okay.
Ted sort of looks at him and looks back at you and goes, his name is Goshtrak, he's an asshole, ignore him.
Gosh, Jack!
Good tell.
Oh, you brought it back.
I did.
You did. You brought back Goshtrack. Oh, yay.
Well, you forget that Ted also came from the same place.
I know! I was thinking about it. I was like, is this name gonna be... Is there gonna be a Goshtrack? There is a Goshtrack. Yay! Sorry. Another campaign that we were doing on Patreon, oh god, what was it? The Zombie Army. There was Goshtrack.
It was
and his
not an
second in
army.
command. There was like a few of them.
My character somehow convinced a bunch of zombies to work for me and named the leader Goshtrak, and his second in command was named Ted.
It was beautiful.
It was.
I
Goshtrak had no hands.
forgot.
I replaced them with knives.
And I took things to make crowns.
Oh yeah, they both had hand crowns.
Yes, because my character was a very strange little dwarf girl.
Yeah.
Everyone had I made hand crowns for finest in the land.
She's
And this is, like,
almost made
dismantled
hand crowns in real life.
I seriously
She's done
considered
this
it
close to making a real life hand crown.
They were not made of real hands, they were just made of like fake skeleton
Halloween
hands and
stuff. It was while we were at the store and it was Halloween and walked by the Halloween section and me was like, ooh, and it was a skeleton hand, and I was like, no, Miriam.
Okay, back on topic.
yeah.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
his name is Goshtrak, he's an asshole, you can largely ignore him.
Sounds good.
To which he pipes in, and then immediately sort of, like, stares back down. It's like, and Ted pipes back in. He also doesn't speak your language particularly well. So he's probably got some sort of snide comment, he just can't figure out how to say it.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
To which he sort of, like, looks directly at you and makes a series of hand motions that you're pretty sure is some sort of incredibly rude gesture, but not something that immediately translates.
I think I have eyebrows, so I raised them in response. Like, I think I have eyebrows. Yeah.
I mean, you're the only one here who does, so yes.
Yeah, I raised my eyebrows in response.
Yeah, I don't think lizard people should have eyebrows. That'd be weird.
Well, the other two
Yeah.
of you are Dragonborn, and I assume you still have the Nothic, who just has
We
one
have-
awful cyclopean eye.
We have brow ridges.
You do have brow ridges, but you definitely don't have eyebrows.
No.
No, I was thinking about it because, like, I'm a
Your teeth.
tiefling now, so I should have eyebrows.
Yes, you have eyebrows. You also might have horns directly above said eyebrows, but you
Who
have
knows?
eyebrows.
Yeah. It's great. The eyebrows were the important part. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I've derailed us twice.
Goshtrak
Okay,
does
I
not have
apologize.
eyebrows, so he just sort of, like, returns to looking forward.
Sorry. Derailed us twice with eyebrows.
Just a bit.
Ooh, goodness.
Alright, so I guess we keep going?
Yeah.
So you just
Yep.
allow them to escort you to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They bring you in and sort of have pull the innkeeper aside and just sort of explain it to them what's going on. And I guess you assume they get paid? You don't actually see any of this beyond some, like, growling that you can hear through the walls. And they come back out and Ted just informs you, okay, you've got sorry, hiccuping. 2 rooms here for pretty much as long as you need. Which is to say, about a week.
Sounds good.
Okay. So we just stick around for a week?
You probably shouldn't stay more than a week, no.
I don't want to stay more than a week.
No. But how long do we have to wait?
I'm going to the ship, and you all can deal with whatever else that there is.
If this takes more than a week.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He sort of like looks back at you and goes, "No, none of you should stay more than a week here."
I'm curious. Why? Not that we would, but I'm just...
Because, well, 1, 2 of you are swamp lizards, and this is a desert, and the entire planet is a desert, and we don't have that much spare water, and you are also sitting directly on our front doorstep with a warship.
Exploration ship.
I'm going to assume you can do some math.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought there
Don't
was
stay
like
more
a
than week.
weirder reason, but yeah.
Sounds good to me. Alright.
Chewie's also not wrong. But Ted is not uncouth enough to say it.
That is what I was kind of...
Ted.
Chewie, that's kind of how I was reading it, is, 1 week is pretty much all of their, like, that's as polite as they can be before, like, we're gonna each intake the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep that ship. I don't know about you guys.
I would be more concerned about them eating you,
Whatever.
but okay.
Oh my god, Chewie.
I mean, he's now seen you attempt to raise your eyebrow, so he sort of, like, looks at you and does, like, an entire forehead, like, shift up. And just continues to stare at you, like, is this coming across?
Yes, it is.
I mean, he doesn't say that, it's just he's staring at you with, like, the full-on trying to wiggle his forehead, basically.
Cool.
I'll see what I can do about getting you in to see our leaders. It might not go well. Will you be comfortable with me as an intermediary?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
see why not.
We've gotten along pretty well so far.
Have we?
It's been cordial.
Considering nothing's attacked us, yes.
Yet.
Yet, or poisoned us and taken our people. Yet.
Yeah, it's been a good day so far.
Yeah.
We've had
That
worse.
we're not grungs. We just eat people. What
There's something refreshing about that, though.
Exactly. We don't take slaves or anything. We just eat people.
No Machiavellian
Harmless in
scheming,
comparison.
just
Really.
straight out.
We're usually dead beforehand.
Okay.
Well, except for the guys in the wall. They sort of have to be alive when we eat them.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Since none of you are saying anything, he just turns around and leaves.
Bye.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Thanks.
Stills.
Gostrak continues to stand in, sort of like unobtrusively in the corner of the inn. Like, in its dining room, sort of taverny area.
Are you our shadow now?
Sure.
Wait,
Okay.
he talks?
Apparently so.
Yo, you want a drink?
Yes.
Alright.
Let's drink.
We're bad at this conversation thing.
I know. Well, to be fair, we don't have a very
kinda-
good conversational partner.
So you walk up to the innkeeper and do what exactly in your attempt to get a drink?
Turn to our Nothic and ask if he can ask for a couple of drinks.
He sort of looks at you.
Whatever
and goes,
they have.
okay, and sort of like hops up in front of the bar, and sort of like stretches out and stands up to his full height, to which he's basically like a 6 foot something human shape, and then sort of leans forward and slams his arms down on the bar and just starts growling. And the barkeep responds in largely the same way. And after about 2 minutes of this, the Nothic turns back around to all of you and goes, okay, it's expensive.
How expensive?
Well, you know how beer is like, or an ale is like 1 silver?
Oh, right. They don't have much liquid out here. Well,
I pull out
it's
my
a lot more
alcohol
than
and
1
start
silver,
drinking
isn't
from
it?
What? I feel like I missed something.
As soon as you pull it out and just start pouring ale out of it, the barkeep or the innkeeper just sort of like goes really wide-eyed and just starts like bouncing up and down and not even growling anymore, just sort of like yipping at the Nothic.
What's
I
he
think they
saying?
want your thing.
Who sort of like turns to you because he wants to buy it.
What's his offer?
The inn.
The inn.
How about he just pays you to fill up his cellars?
Sensei, yeah, just pay him per, like,
Or
gallon.
like keg?
Yeah.
The
Maybe.
Nothic sort of like turns around and informs him that, and he like shakes his head and passes on again through the Nothic. He knows you won't be here. We won't be here forever. He wants that. Apparently he's seen items like this before, and knows their limits, and knows that you won't be able to like fill up infinite casks or anything for him. But that by itself that could save the city like from drought.
Who'd have thunk? One magical artifact.
That I literally haven't used.
You've used it once to pour out oil somewhere.
Huh?
You used it once to pour out oil somewhere, I think.
Yeah. It was like when I first got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this thing for a really long time. Oh god. So he wants to give me the inn.
The Nothic sort of like turns back, and you get the feeling he's trying to get like clarification, and comes back to you and is like, it's more he'll give you anything you want. The inn's just the most valuable thing he owns.
God, I don't know if I want to sell it now.
It's up to you, Nadar. You're
Yeah,
know.
it's your thing.
your
Damn
alchemy
it, I have
jug.
to make a choice.
I mean, you're the one who's just like, I'm gonna pull out this magic item that can produce any liquid.
No, I started drinking. Like, I didn't pour it into a glass. I just started drinking from it.
Yeah, and as soon as, well, it's very obvious. So, like, to describe an alchemy jug, it's basically like a foot in diameter jug, like ceramic jug with like 13 different spouts coming off the side with just corks in it. And whenever you uncork one of them, whatever thing it is that comes out of that one just pours out until you hit the max.
Does it replenish?
Yeah, it's just that it has a max for per day.
Uh,
So it'll pour out, I don't remember the amounts, but it'll pour out like X amount of gallons of water, or like 2 pounds of mayonnaise. Yes, that's actually an option. Or like several cups of honey, or oil, or just random stuff like that. It can't do like healing potions, but it can do a lot of things.
So as we're standing here, it's just like pouring out onto the ground.
No.
Or you recorked it.
Nadar like uncorked one of the top ones and just started pouring it down his gullet.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
God damn it! Upon seeing that, the barkeep went, "I need that." Hang on.
Yeah. Thanks, that's nice, but I'm gonna keep it. So.
Welcome, Leo the Kid. He's, at this point, desperately trying to convince you, like... He's not even talking to the Nothic anymore, he's talking straight to you. Just in ways that you can't actually understand.
Oh, so he's just...
Yeah, he's just very clearly, like, begging and pleading with you for this alchemy jug.
Yeah, no.
He sort of, like, hangs his head really downtrodden and returns to the Nothic and reminds him of the alcohol price and then just sort of, like, walks away.
Right. I forgot, to be fair,
Well-
I forgot you had that.
Yeah.
Yep, that is what an alchemy jug looks like.
Ah! Well. I guess
That is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat, yeah.
very distinctive.
That would be highly impractical in real life. But that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so what do we want to do since we're not gonna... If we're gonna drink it, might be something that Nadar furnishes for us.
Or I'd probably have it back at the ship.
I mean, Nadar's alchemy jug can basically produce beer, or ale and wine, along with just water, and
What more
mayonnaise
do we
and
need?
honey.
Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Nadar, you want to share?
I guess.
You can basically pour out about 10 good flagons before it runs out for the day.
Yep. I will, go ahead and give everyone at least one flagon.
Okay.
Everyone in the bar? Or everyone in our...
Just our group?
I was
Like our
gonna say, it
group.
might be...
I'm not that nice! Jesus
I was
Christ. Who do
gonna
you
say,
think I
like,
am?
We're all evil aligned.
It's also like the middle of the day, so there's no one here except for you all and Gostrak.
Yeah. 4 guys track a pint, 4 you guys a pint, there you go.
The barkeep is still going to charge you like a gold to borrow his flagons.
That's fine.
What a butt.
Rude, but okay.
It's like a
You came into his bar and refused to buy his drink. Just like, give me a cup!
Thing that would save his...
Save the town.
Yeah.
So yes, he charged you a gold to borrow the flagons.
That's fine.
And he felt no shame about it.
I
Okay.
wouldn't either.
Meh.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so what is the plan? Are we gonna hang out here? Well, it's the middle of the day, so do we want to go explore the town a little more, or just wait?
How much of the town did we see?
You
Like, how big is this town?
You pass through pretty much a straight line of it towards the center-ish. They are drinking with the Gnoll boy.
Yeah.
You took a pretty straight path nearish to the center. The town is sort of like a slightly oval shape that's probably about like 4 miles wide at the wide side and like 2-ish miles on the thin side. And you came from like the southeastern door and sort of came up mostly through the long way, so you've probably passed through like 2-ish miles of just slowly walking your way through this city.
Do you want to try to find a marketplace and explore said marketplace?
Yeah. Goshjack, right? That's his name?
Yes.
Alright, I turn to him. Is there anywhere of interest you can show us, or marketplace we could check out?
What?
Do you guys not have markets here?
Fun.
or-
Yeah. Fun places.
Can show fun. Just sort of like nodding his head.
Well then, fun it is.
Okay.
You're just gonna follow him? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
As soon as you go, okay, he walks out the door, still carrying his flagon, and just drinking it down the street.
Okay.
So no open container laws. It's cool.
Apparently, day drinking is fine, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Alright.
He
Follow
starts leading you in a kind of winding, circuitous way, in that. Give me perception checks.
Let's hope this perception check goes slightly better than the perception.
You're all pretty sure that by the end of basically a half hour of walking, you're no less than like 30 feet from where you started, but you could not say how to get back to the inn. Like, just judging from these buildings look really familiar, and like the position of the sun in the sky, I'm pretty sure we're not that far from where we started, but I still can't tell you where the inn is. And he just sort of like walks into a massive, partially enclosed, like a better word would probably be a bazaar. Like, the entire area is small stalls built into like stone alcoves, but the whole thing has a large sort of canvas covering over it. And to get through, you have to pass through sort of like not tight, but like canvas door flaps that are still sort of like pressed against each other to keep the air inside separate from the like the dry desert air on the outside.
Okay. Cool.
And it's pretty much like an immediate cacophony, as though there's probably some sort of magic on the like flaps that's keeping all of this in, and you can't see anywhere near all of this bazaar. It just winds down a whole bunch of different paths, and it's clear that while this isn't one building, it's a regular just sort of area that everyone passes through. It's probably the main trading area for this city.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, there's our interesting stuff. Does he lead us anywhere specific in the bazaar, or just to the bazaar?
So he leads you into the bazaar and starts leading you past specific shops, and he points them out, but since he doesn't speak your language that well, he doesn't really explain them. So the first shop that he points out seems to be selling the sort of skeletal zombie gnolls that are part of the wall, and just has a ton of them just sort of stacked in layers behind the little kiosk. The next one he points out is like a weapon shop, and then he points to what is clearly just another bar, and finally points at what is probably some sort of like arena or gambling facility, because it's sort of there's clearly a place to take money, and then it just sort of indents in and you can't see past the very front counter.
Okay, so we went from one bar to another.
No, these were like a bunch of different places he pointed
Okay.
to as you walked through.
I'd like to check out that weapon shop.
Okay.
Anybody want to come with me?
Sure.
I was gonna check out the Gnoll skeletons over there.
Okay. Which would you all like to do first?
We can do weapons shop first.
Okay. Are all of you going together or what?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably better that way.
There's a very, very confused Gnoll standing behind the counter trying to figure out what the hell any of you are. Just sort of like staring at you, very, very confused.
I kind of tilt my head and go, yes.
He sort of like leans back and with a very confused look sort of waves his hand across his wares like, this is what I have, and just sort of stares at you.
I
And
shrug and start looking at the weapons.
he tries to growl at you, and Gostrak just sort of like shakes his head and like, no, they don't understand. So yeah, he sort of stands back and watches as you all look at the different weapons. Is there anything that any of you are looking for in particular?
No, just browsing. Just hanging.
Yeah, let me see what if I got with my weapon. Got. I'm trying to remember if I can do anything with.
Well, while she's looking at that, Feline, the shopkeep notices your weapon and pulls out like a little drawer under his sort of like kiosk desk area, and is like holding up a piece of dried meat and points at your he points at your mace and sort of wiggles it like, can I give it?
I nod.
And he,
Excitedly.
he just like drops this little piece of meat into the awful, terrifying hole in the middle of it. As a reminder, Stephanie's weapon is I think it's a war club, technically?
Yeah,
remember what
my
it's down
Viking
as.
Smite.
Yeah.
It's a club.
It's a club in that it is an axe that has been slammed into like a headsman's thing, like where you would rest your neck on it, and got stuck.
The block.
And
The chopping block, that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a tiny space on the sides of where the axe entered into the stone, where meat can be fed in, and it gives the weapon weird bonuses.
And it makes it happy.
Yeah.
It's
And
happy,
and yeah,
I
he
kinda
immediately
forgot about
recognized
that.
what your weapon was and just gives it a little bit of like some sort of jerky.
Ah,
That's
That's a
adorable.
good axe.
Like he
that's
does
a
actually.
good bite and smite.
It's hard to describe because it's not really petting, but he does sort of like gently rub on the side of like the chopping block stone, and then go back to watching Alcina go through his wares.
That's
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's funny. Does he have really anything in the way of, like, I don't know, wow, I can't do words today. Does he have any words, look,
Any what?
any magical swords?
Like what kind of sword? He has a bunch of magic items, yes.
Okay. Maybe like a rapier? Like a nice magical rapier of
I
some
mean,
sort.
How do you explain rapier?
Don't you have a rapier?
I don't think I have a rapier. What do I have?
I don't believe you have a rapier.
I have warhammer. I have a two-handed warhammer. I have two pistols. Oh no, never mind. I do have a sword. I have my scale warp blade.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I was
don't
also
really need
confused just
anything.
because a rapier is a like dex weapon.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have dex. What am I thinking?
I mean, you don't have to use dex, but it's specifically there to use dex.
Yeah, my dex is like my lowest stat. So that would be a terrible idea. Yeah, I just keep poking around. don't really see anything too interesting.
Okay, there's nothing in particular you actually want?
Yeah, it was more like a kill time, look at stuff
Okay.
kind of thing.
I mean, nothing is particularly standing out to you because you can't read the written language,
Nope.
so you don't actually know what any of them do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's pretty sure that you're just sort of like a cheapskate, so he's not trying to sell you on anything. He's just sort of done with this and making sure you don't steal anything.
Yes. No, actually, I was going to say, I don't look normal, so it'd be kind of hard to steal stuff.
Yeah.
And, again, no dex, so sneaking is not my thing.
No. What were you saying, Steph?
Can I check over the case?
For what?
Or just, sorry, over the weapons themselves.
There are a
Just to
lot
see.
of weapons.
Ah.
And without the context, the best I would say is that you might be able to get, like, the spell school for some of them. But because they're enchanted weapons, almost all of them are just going to be like, it's an enchanted weapon!
Oh. Bummer. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Like, you might get an idea about it, but probably nothing very specific or helpful.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
So, where was the other place y'all wanted to go?
Steph wanted to go see the body shop.
Yeah!
Oh, right, yes.
Baby buy a body.
The Zambies. The Zambi shop.
Zombies.
Zombie Gnoll. Yeah.
I can put it in the closet ring.
Forgot about that.
I mean, it's dead, so that there's not an issue of killing it.
So yes, back closer to the entrance, probably so that the smell can waft out more easily. There is a shop that is just like every space behind the shop owner is just full of these rotting zombie gnolls. Let me see if I can find a picture of them. I can't remember their name. Yeah, I'm not going to remember. It's something really strange, because they're not actually zombie gnolls. There's a specific word for them. Oh well. I'll find it later. But yeah, there's just, like, probably a couple dozen of them sort of stuffed into the back of the shop.
Are you seeing any of the...
I don't know. I turned to our Nothic. Can you ask how much?
Okay. He, again, sort of, like, stands up to his full height and slams his hands down on the kiosk and starts growling angrily at the Gnoll, and the Gnoll starts growling angrily back, and after probably, like, 10 minutes of this, he turns around to you and goes, I'm not sure. There are some things that don't translate great. I think he wants money, meat, and the other one I'm still not entirely understanding.
I have a barrel of meat.
Oh, I forgot you have a barrel of meat.
3 pounds of meat in a barrel.
Is that in your ring? I don't remember.
Yes!
When did you get that?
Oh my god.
That was...
Right, you just got that from
Before you
the
left.
grungs, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just gonna pull out this barrel of 3 pounds of meat?
Oh my goodness, darling.
Yes.
So, you take off your ring,
Wait, I
sort
take
of...
out like an ounce, like, I don't know,
Well,
9 ounces of it, and then get the rest to him.
You take off your ring and open up the, like, pocket dimension and sort of reach in and pull out this thing of meat and set it down on the counter in front of him and then take out, like, 9 ounces and throw it, or, like, wrap it up in some paper or something and throw it back in and put your
Yes.
ring back on, and he's just looking like, okay, that was weird, and sort of looks at all of this meat and goes, scratch. I forget that you all can't see my camera. And it's just sitting there, like, scratching his face, and turns to the Nothic and growls a little bit more, but it's a little bit more quiet and more like calm. And at this point, Gostrak actually like perks up and like butts in and yips something at him, and the Gnoll sort of turns to him and go, "I speak little Draconic."
Cool. How much for a zombie? For a small zombie? How much meat?
We have standard size. The Nothic sort of like leans over and is like, I think he's trying to say that they're all basically the same size.
Okay, how much for a zombie?
This meat, 100 gold, and yes, it got really weird. And then he sort of like crosses his eyes trying to figure out what the hell the other word that he's trying to explain is. Like,
Can you point to it?
shakes his head, just goes, this much meat and 150 gold, and you get zombie.
How much gold you got, Steph?
900.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
He sort of, like, is a little bit taken aback, but takes your money and this, like, barrel of meat and sets it down under his counter and pulls out a scroll from underneath the counter and sort of, like, walks down his lines trying to find something that matches up with this scroll, apparently, and grabs one of them and sort of by, like, a collar and pulls it out in front and sets the scroll down in front of you. It's like, sign here, here, and here. And, like, hands you a quill.
Just like buying a new car.
Signing my soul away. It could be. Oh well, okay.
You could have the Nothic read it before you sign it.
Yeah. Can he? That'd be smart. Read the fine print before I sign stuff.
He sort of, like, reads over and goes, I think it's a magic contract that binds it to you?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sorry, this race was never big on my priorities in terms of knowledge gathering.
Got it.
We should fix that. But right now, yes. Sign it.
There's no ink. It's very... He sort of, like,
Oh.
points to your wrist as soon as you try and, like, find an ink, thing of ink.
Okay.
Did I write desserts? Well, shit.
I can go and get the ice cream.
No.
Seriously, now I have to look.
Oops, I am bad at this game. In my defense, I use desserts much more often than I use deserts. It's also a
This is
savanna, so I don't know why I said desert.
Grassland.
So yes, you're gonna make the blood pact there stuff.
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you finish signing on all of the different lines on the contract, the zombie sort of seems to stand a lot more erect and just sort of like you hear popping from a bunch of its joints as it sort of shakes itself out, and its eyes seem to sort of, well, the little pinpricks that are where its eyes should be seem to sort of like brighten a little bit as they focus on you.
So we've got a pet sloth
Okay.
named Jeffrey. We have a Gnoll zombie.
You also have a bunch of random orcs on the ship.
Yep.
Yes.
We have poison
This
accuracy.
just keeps getting better and better. Okay. How fast is this zombie?
I mean, he's about the same speed as you all.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
he's probably not as fast, but he makes up for it by not getting tired. Because zombie.
True. Alright, where to, guys?
Do we want to see more of the bazaar? Do we want to... I don't know. Do we want to check out the tavern that's there? The gambling area in the tavern? Anything specific anyone's up for?
No, I'm just kind of moseying around with you guys.
Enjoying the, I just saw... Sorry, chat. Okay, so... we're gonna explore the bazaar some more.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Oh, we're just meandering.
Oh, okay. Just hanging out in the bazaar for like an hour?
Yeah, because we're just kind of waiting for Ted to get back to let us know if he's secured any sort of, audience? Is audience the right word?
Probably. Well, yeah, after... You've probably been here for about an hour now, and after another hour of sort of, like, faffing around,
I like that phrase.
you hear a sound that actually reminds you of those, like, call scales that you've got, except that it's coming from Gostrak, who sort of, like, looks down at his... He's got sort of... Calling it a uniform is very wrong. He's basically
is that
got...
exaggeration?
Yeah, he's basically just wearing, like, a chainmail shirt, but it has these different, like, studs attached to it, and one of them is sort of, like, vibrating against it, and he taps it, growls into it briefly, and then sort of, like, tries to grab all of you at once and start, like, marching you out of the bazaar.
Okay.
You all
Sounds
just go?
good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So immediately outside of the bazaar, Ted is actually just sitting there waiting for you.
Hey, Ted.
I don't know what I was expecting. This is upon seeing you four walk out of the bazaar with, five, with a random-ass zombie following you.
Shouldn't have expected anything less. But were you able to secure that meeting?
Not strictly speaking. Okay, look. I am allowed to tell you that the ruling matriarchs refused to see you. However, I am allowed to... speak on their behalf, I guess? With you, sort of?
Okay.
Pretty much anything that I promise you, they have the right to overturn, but I can at least communicate with you. Let's go with that.
That's a start.
Is Haley playing on her phone?
No.
Haley.
I was looking up something and then I got distracted.
I forgot hyenas were a matriarchal society, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I was looking up to see if you really did promise desserts, and then I got distracted.
Yeah. I remember reading somewhere that hyenas are matriarchal, so it shouldn't surprise us that it's like, I don't know, queen mother type situation.
Matriarchal is probably the wrong word, but I don't want to explain on the stream. I'll explain in the after show.
Okay.
But yes, they won't meet with you, but I am allowed to speak on their behalf. They just also reserve the right to deny anything that I say.
Why don't they want to meet with us?
Because you're male.
Not all of us are male.
Just two?
I'm a woman.
Oh, I thought you were male.
Yeah,
No,
me
I'm a
too.
woman.
No, I'm the only male here.
Ah,
Yeah.
because you have a male with you.
I can stay behind.
They might be okay with that. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, they can fill me in later, so I can just hang out at the inn and wait for them.
I legitimately forgot. I'm still pretty sure. Miriam, was your first character male?
Nope, female.
Chewy.
Her name was Moira.
Yeah.
No, Moira's always your dwarf.
No, what was my first character?
Oh well. Okay. Apparently, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what was my first character? It was Moira. No, this one was Moira.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Oh
The one
well.
in the other campaign
Anyway.
was Magda.
Whatever. Okay. Well, they might actually agree with that.
Great.
I'm gonna have to go back and talk to them then.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah. We'll be around.
Go back to the tavern?
Yeah.
Or go to more fun?
I would suggest going back to the tavern. This probably won't take too long.
Okay.
I think we're gonna end off there because honestly, I really did forget that more than one of you wasn't actually female. So I was not prepared for that.
Catching the DM off guard. Hell yeah.
Let's see.
We surprised the DM.
Yay!
Yay!
And nobody died!
Yes.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to add quote. What the command for adding quotes is. And I don't remember either because it's been a while.
I was gonna say Damasu would know because Damasu.
No,
Damasu-
I've also changed the bot since then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Oh!
Oh, there we go.
No, see, that's the thing. He knew that Haley was a man, but he
Mhm.
forgot the rest of us were not men.
Yeah. It happens.
It
It
does.
happens. You know, every husband forgets his wife is a male sometimes.
I forgot what Miriam was. I remembered you.
Oops.
Did you remember Steph is also a female?
Yes.
Okay, just me. That's alright.
Just a random
Pretty
people.
funny if I did like
Fine.
I feel like if when I was reincarnated, if I was reincarnated in a dude's body, that would have been pretty funny.
Yeah.
Added hilarity. Added hilarity. Some
And then I
Freaky
started
Friday
choking on
nonsense.
gin.
Don't die!
Don't choke
Not
on
on the
gin.
booze!
Trying.
Not on the gin. Anti-malarial properties.
I think that's actually mostly the tonic water, but yes.
Oh.
Whew, okay. But yes, sorry, I legitimately forgot that more than just Feline were actually female, so I was not prepared for that. But this is also about where I was planning on ending off anyway. The difference was just that he was going to try and send you off to go do something else, and now you're gonna... Something else is gonna happen, I guess.
Yay!
And we'll find out next week! Well, I choke and die.
Not for the choking and dying. Yay for find out next.
I promise, I'm trying not to choke and die. So yes, next week on the 10th, we will be going back to do more of the Ladies of Lore, and we're actually getting really, really close to finishing our 365-day streaming challenge. I will say, D&D is not going away after that. D&D will continue to be at the same time. I think there's a way to list quotes, but I also haven't imported everything over from the old bot yet, so they're not all there.
Yay!
So, no. Let's go with no. I don't know if D&D may change a little bit in that how we do it, but I can guarantee that the time and the date will not change, and that I will maintain at least these 3 in it. We may add more so that we have some amount of wiggle room in case someone can't show up.
Or like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will have to see, but I can guarantee this will continue going. We were trying to work out what other shows we're going to have post-challenge, because we're going to try and cut our streaming down to 4 or 5 regular days a week, with the option of doing like bonus streams, because we're not going to stop playing silly multiplayer games or goofing around with Chewy and other people. So we just don't want to make those a regularly scheduled thing, because that makes them a little bit less fun.
Yeah. And we also just want to give ourselves a small break.
Yes.
Since we both have full-time jobs, and it's not like somebody could just stay home and stream permanently.
Yeah. And we're going to try and work out a specific day, which will be a Haley stream day. Otherwise, we'll figure out what the actual other shows are. And we'll be posting that here and our website and all of that good stuff. So please check out all of the other things that we do. I believe I will give you a full rundown in just a second when I cut over to the end slate. But just a reminder, please consider checking out our Patreon and our YouTube channel. They're both Layer of Lore, or just our website, layeroflore.com, where you can find all of the other stuff we do. Right now, most of that is going to be YouTube VODs and some extra stuff that you can get on the Patreon. And, yeah. Good night, all.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed this stream, video, whatever it is that you've actually been watching. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Patreon, hey, maybe check out some of the other stuff that's playing around me. Should be other videos kind of similar to this, or maybe just some of our longer running playlists. Hope you enjoy some of it. And remember to check us out on Facebook and Twitter and all those things to get our inane babble and also stay up to date with when we go live. And if you really like what we're doing here, maybe consider subscribing to YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, however you want to support us. We've got a whole bunch of tiers over on Patreon, from $1 up to the insane gourmand level, where you can get things like playing D&D with us, or getting characters named after you in as of yet unnamed series. So maybe check out any of that. It's all Layer of Lore. See y'all around.